Hi guys, welcome to Multiverse. Today we're going to play with our Multiverse character. We're going to start by playing with the gold material a bit, and then we'll move on from there. So let's just wait a minute or two for people to log in. And it'll give me a second to set up things on my end. Hello Eric, hello Ito, hello that Salt guy, hello Brian. Hello Rose. So almost there. That should be good. Hello Nebula. So our friend Jeffrey basically asked. Yesterday we had a new photo for Captain Marvel, or we should say Shazam by now, I suppose. The DC version of Captain Marvel. Vienna, pas de trouble. Je vais faire ça dans pas long. So our friend Jeffrey asked if we could take a look at how to create Captain Marvel using the gold material. Although even if you don't have the gold material, you can actually create a pretty good looking Captain Marvel. We're going to take a look at that just now. Well, let's make sure we have the right colors. Come on, come on. There we go. So let's make a red a little brighter. That should work. You can already recreate a pretty good version of Captain Marvel even without the gold material. I'll show you how in just a second. Let's remove the headpiece. No, that's French. Our friend Viana basically asked me a question in French, and I gave her an answer. Or is it him? I have a hard time with certain names knowing if it's a guy or a girl. Hello, Derek. Hello, Lana. Hello, Nicholas. Hello, Costas. So let's remove the headpiece and the mask. And of course, for our friend Captain Marvel, we need. Let's go for the Troy headpiece. Or is it New Troy? That'll be easier if I go into hair. There we go. There he is, New Troy. Oh yeah. It's a little bit more Black Adam, I suppose, but it works well for the robotic arm. I'm not sure. It's been a while since I had it. I would have to look it up. So to recreate our friend Captain Marvel, it's somewhat not that difficult, and you don't really need any material. I will show you without the materials, and I'll show you with the materials. Let's go for none. For the chest piece, there is a couple of options depending on what you prefer. Let's remove the shoulders. Sure, Nebula, you can ask anything you want. If I can answer it, I will. Sometimes I may have to say that I'm not sure and I'm gonna have to look it up. So even without the gold material, if you use, let's say, the Sinistro bracers, and if you use, I think it's the robotic boots. Oh yeah. As you can see, those already have some gold pretty much into it. So even without the gold material, you can make a fairly good Captain Marvel. And for the belt, usually I try to find some sort of belt that kind of matches with the material that the boots and the gloves have, which is not that difficult. There's quite a few that actually matches that description. Usually I went with that one in the past. It says waiting on multiverse. Honestly, I have no idea, Rose. As far as I can tell, the stream seems to be working. People seems to be seeing the stream, so I'm not sure what to do, Rose. To buy you the mist container backstyle? I don't think I can buy it for you. And sadly, even if that was the case, I don't do that. Sorry, Nebula. For the legs, not all will do. For the back piece, there's a few options you can use. The racial ghoul, where is it? The racial ghoul proper cape, I guess, is one option. Oh, I guess I'm going to need some white. Oh, crypto is getting frisky. Nope. Not sure why the belt is white. Let's change that. I guess we don't need the black, so let's go with a darker yellow. Um, don't throw a fit there, Rose. I'm not sure why it's saying that you have to wait. As far as I can tell, the stream seems to be working. If it's not, I'm not sure what to do. Hi, DeVolt. Is there anyone else who somehow cannot see the stream, or if it still says waiting for multiverse? The shock jog chest? Yeah, that will be another option. That's a good call. So basically, our friend Jeffrey was asking if we could recreate Captain Marvel with the gold material. As you can see, even without the gold material, we can make a pretty good version of Captain Marvel. But obviously, if you have the gold material, no reason not to use it. But if you don't have the gold material, you can still create a pretty good version of Captain Marvel. But of course, if we went with the gold material, let's see what happens. The issue of the gold material is that you can see for the bracers, if we put the gold material, the bracers with the gold material, it puts the whole bracers gold. So it kind of ruins the handpiece a bit. So I guess I would change, I would use the gold material on anything but the bracers. The bracers are already close enough to the gold material. Bonsoir, HyperX. Hey, Dominic. Deluge will come in March. We don't know when. Is it going to be March 1st? Obviously not, because that's tomorrow. Is it going to be... odds are... Well, let me check. Usually when they put the DLC on the test servers, it takes about 2 weeks before the DLC goes live. So let me check if there's some sort of announcement. So as soon as they announce that they put the test server, the Deluge DLC on the test server, odds are it will be live like 2 weeks after. So right now we can expect the Deluge DLC will probably come March the 15th at the earliest, but it could be even later than that. It could be March 21st. So sadly, we're gonna have to wait for that. Storyline from the comics. Well, one storyline that I would love to see is the Crisis on Infinite Earths. Uh, that pretty guaranteed that that would never happen because it would require like a billion character models. The nice thing about Crisis on Infinite Earths is that it pretty much gives us a pretty cool version of a pretty good look at the rich history of the DC universe, or at least before the New 52, that is. So let's take a quick look with the shock jock. And of course, for it to match, we have to go with the shock jock pants. Sure, we could try White Lantern Superman. We'll try it right after our friend Captain Marvel. So for Captain Marvel, that's pretty much as close as we can get to the new 52 look. I guess the belt, we could use various different belts. Thank you, Space Ninja. Another cape we can use also instead of the Racial Gold cape would be the Cloak of Hades. Doesn't look exactly like Captain Marvel, but it's a nice alternative, I suppose. Like it's still too short to actually be a Captain Marvel cape, but it kind of works a bit. Of course, that's better to use this cape with the shock jock as opposed to the Aegis chest piece. Like the Aegis chest piece, you'll see it messes up the cape a bit. It'll create a lot of clipping, I think. Yeah. So as you can see, sadly with oh, I have no neck. I'm so sad now. So sadly, the Cloak of Hades, not that great with that chest piece. And of course, to have something closer, I guess, to Captain Marvel. Let's go back to the shock jock. The neck disappearing, that happens whenever you use the shock jock. Sometimes it creates that. Thought they would have fixed that by now, but I guess not. But of course, technically, Captain Marvel should actually be using the clean cuffed boots, I think, or is it just a cuffed? Not a clean cuffed. Although for that, I wouldn't go with gold. It looks, I would go just with that. For the belt, I think the Druid belt would do the trick. We don't really have a belt. We don't really have one belt that would actually work. But there's a few that are close enough, I suppose. Oh, not the Druid. Not the Egyptian one. Gold, it's all too much. So let's keep it to none. So technically this is about well, let's go over the Racial Gold cape. Ah, come on, come on. It's been a long day. There we go. So right now this is pretty much the closest thing to the classic Captain Marvel that we can recreate in this universe online. And that's a pretty good looking Captain Marvel. Sadly, the drawback is that you have to wait until you're tier 7 before you can actually get the shock jock, or is it tier 6? Either a late tier 6 or early tier 7 for the shock jock style. So it can take a while for you to be able to get that look. So early on, if you're really lucky, what you could always do. Hello, Jeffrey. Ah, thank you, Jeffrey. Assuming you were talking to me. Sadly, one of the challenges is trying to keep an eye on the chat and doing stuff on DC. Were you there from the start, Jeffrey? Basically, I showed how you can recreate a pretty good Captain Marvel without, like the new 52 Captain Marvel without the without the gold material. But you can also use the gold material. Ouais, je vais en mettre une Hyperaxe. Well, just for you, I'll go back a bit. Basically, this is as close as we can get to the classic version of the character. If we want to recreate more something like the new 52 version of the character, something I think works well is the robotic boots. For the belt, there's quite a few belts we can use. Which one did I use before? Well, let's go through them, it'll be easier. There's a few options that could kind of work for a mythological character like Captain Marvel. Like the Strength of Ram could be a good option, I suppose. But usually I went with this one. So even without the gold material, you can do a pretty good version of the new 52 Captain Marvel. But of course, if you use the gold material, then you could do it a tiny bit closer with maybe the waist and the boots. Sadly for the gloves, if you put the gloves, the gold material on the gloves, the whole gloves will be gold. So usually I stick to just the actual material that is actually on the gloves. Thank you, Jeffrey. We could make the emblem blue. Yes, we could do that. Let's see which color we don't really need. Let's get rid of that one. We could go with the blue emblem if we really need to. And even with the another option would be obviously to use the Aegis chest piece. Obviously, we need to tweak the colors a bit. So we could have, depending on the blue you like, just a matter of setting the blue any way you like it. Um, Not really. It depends. I guess the blue Captain Marvel. I think that was Captain Marvel Junior or something. Or are we thinking of another character? But yeah, we can put the chest piece blue. That's not really a problem. We can put pretty much everything that's red blue. Oh no, the neck is gone again. Sadly, it does that with the shock jock style. Not sure why, but I thought they had fixed it. I suppose apparently not really. So if you don't get too worked up about the neck piece, yeah, you can make it pretty much blue. There's a few. There's the Aegis of Eternity. That works really well. There's the shock jock that works really well as we saw. Except for the neck part, but other than that, the shock jock works well enough. And of course, there's also the almighty Captain Marvel T-shirt if you really need to. Assuming you got it from the vault, that is. Doesn't look quite the same, obviously, but it's an option. And our friend Rose, not Rose, Nebula asked for a White Lantern Superman. Let's see what we can do. Let's go with our Superman build. Here I tried to recreate what as close as we could put to the evil cyborg Superman. Sorry about that. But this is about as close as I was able to get, sadly, within the limitation we have. I didn't notice the new 52 blue electric Captain Marvel. So a White Lantern Superman has been requested. Honestly, other than making Superman white, I'm not sure really what actually really would work. Let's give it a try. Let's replace the black. We don't need the shoulders. For the aura, I think I have a white aura somewhere in there. Let's go with this one. The Thunder Blue and the rest black, we'll give it a try afterwards. There they are. For White Lantern Superman, sadly, other than putting the whole thing white, of course, if we put the whole thing white, oh no, we still have the S. Sometimes the S disappears when we put one color, but I guess for white it didn't do that. So I guess that would be one option for a White Lantern Superman. Obviously, if we use the White Lantern emblem, it would probably be a bit better. It does lack a contrast a bit though. So I guess I would have to do a better job to use some white and off-white. I might as well go for the new 52 pants. Do you still have a problem with the stream, Rose? So for a White Lantern Superman, I guess this is what I would go for. Sorry, I missed out a few bits. Let me go back a bit. Yeah, that bit in the other guys was pretty priceless. Let's aim for the bushes, and then you wonder like, what do they think they're doing? And then obviously the way the gag ends, you understand what they were doing. Moi, j'ai pas le Kryptonite Aura encore, malheureusement. I didn't hear about the. I know there was supposed to be a merger between Time Warner and AT&T, but I didn't realize that the deal was in trouble. I would have to look it up. I have no knowledge of the last news I know about was that there was supposed to be a merger between AT&T and T and Time Warner, which is also one of the reasons why some people were mentioning that Marvel Disney should buy DC, and which isn't really an option with the AT&T merger that's coming up. But I guess the AT&T merger was not a done deal, so anything could happen still. But I'm surprised that Warner would want to sell. I didn't realize that Warner wanted to sell DC, I suppose. I guess today is going to be Style Day. So let's go back to our friend Captain Marvel for half a second. Someone suggested black and yellow. Yeah, black and yellow looks really nice with the shock jock style. Should probably do it with our friend Black Adam. But if you go black and yellow, you pretty much have Black Adam as opposed to Captain Marvel. Oh, wrong pants. Oh, let's leave it like that. I'll show you in just a second the vault. Just give me 1 second. Almost there. Stay on target. And let's go back to no Troy for the headpiece. So as you can see, if we put it black and yellow, we have a pretty good Black Adam. Obviously, the lighting isn't quite exact. The same with Captain Marvel. But overall, the looks usually looks pretty nice. I have no idea. I'm trying to remember the scene. The one I saw, we had seen some photos online, and the one cut scene that I did see on YouTube was all we see is the suit in its armory, sort of like in its sort of suitcase. So I don't remember seeing the boots, but I would have to look it up. I guess a Google search could give us information about that. So for our friend the Volt who's asking about the how to place base items, you have to go to your little panel here in your base. So you go to enter decoration mode, and early on when you start, like you can see, there's oh, it's not there anymore. You're going to see a thingy that's going to say free placement mode 20 items. So you have to put in 20 items, and you see those little blue circles. You have to put your items in there. So once you do that, once you place 20 items in those circles, then you can start putting items anywhere you like. That's a big one. Yeah, Finn, I'll make a Kid Flash from Young Justice. Hello, Dominic. Well, basically the black suit we saw in the photos, it was the Man of Steel suit, but black. It was pretty much that simple. I'm not sure if it had. I don't remember if it had any whites in it. I seem to recall it was pretty much the Man of Steel suit, but colored black. Not unlike what they did with Spider-Man 3. When they had Spider-Man 3 in the black costume, all they did was desaturate all the colors on the costume and turn it black. I seem to recall it was something similar they did with the Superman costume. The Star episode is going to start sometimes in March. We don't know when. Usually it takes about 2 weeks. But once the DLC goes on the test server, usually it takes 2 weeks before it goes on the live server. So obviously it's not on the test server just yet. At least if it is, I'm not aware of it. So once it hits the test servers, it'll be live in 2 weeks. So at the earliest, mid March at this point, but it's probably going to be more towards end March. Oh, I'm so sad, Rose. It's all right. We can wait. I'm a patient man. I haven't played the Metal Gear. I played. There was one Metal Gear that we had access to at some point on PlayStation Plus. I think a year ago or something. That's pretty much all the Metal Gear I did. I played, but no, I haven't really played Metal Gear Solid. Yeah, it's the filament aura. I should probably make a video about that. Basically, I purchased all the auras, the filament auras. I was able to get them all for about 1.5 million each. I think the yellow one I was able to get it for 1.2. The exception to that is the one you're looking at. The blue filament aura is a bit more expensive. I had to pay I think 3 millions for that one. Let's take a look. I haven't noticed if the prices went down today. But right now the filament auras are not that expensive. So if you're looking for a nice aura, oh, let's switch here. So if you're looking for a nice aura, you should be able to get one for fairly cheap. But as I always mention, the prices on broker changes all the time. So yeah, right now you can get the blue filament aura for 3 millions. The green one for 2 millions. The purple one for 2.2. Oh, for 1.9. So for a little less than about 2 millions, you can get the purple one. If you wait a bit or shop around a bit, you should be able to get it for 1.5, unless you're not lucky. The red one seems to be 2.9 right now. The yellow one seems to be the yellow and the purple one usually seems to be the cheapest one. So right now the yellow is at 2 millions. Well, I guess it's relative. If you're a free-to-play player or a premium player, yeah, 3 millions is too much for you. Usually, a legendary player should be able to make that much money, uh, somewhat quickly. But it depends also how good you are at playing the broker, and also how lucky you are if you get some expensive items that you can sell for a lot of cash on the broker. Well, you're going to be able to get cash a little bit faster than if you have to grind for a cheaper item to sell. It happens. So we got a request for Kid Flash from Young Justice, and it's a good request because I did get a new headpiece not that long ago that would allow me to do a better job doing making the Kid Flash version of the Young Justice. So let's give it a try. We could even try. Uh, Not sure that'll work, but we'll see. The headpiece I got was the Static Shock, I think it's called. I guess not. So right now I have a lot of styles. As you can see, I have like 41 pages just of headpieces. So trying to find the one, let's go the hard way. Actually, let's go the other way. Could have sworn it was Static Shock or something, but I guess not. Oui, il faut payer tous les mois. No, 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 no. Oh, I didn't recall that one. Electrostatic, there we go. And let's remove the gold material. So with the electrostatic headpiece, we can recreate somewhat the look that the Kid Flash has in Young Justice with the goggles on his forehead. Although if we wanted to do that, we could also have gone with the DC Bombshell Harley goggles. I'm going to leave both for now, but obviously we're not going to use both. For the hair, obviously we want to go for the carrot hair. The split personality headpiece, we'll take a look at that in just a sec. The flash gear for free. Well, it depends which flash gear you're talking about. I showed it yesterday. We'll get back to Kid Flash in just a second. Well, yeah, Kid Flash should be a striker small, but I'm not going to change the body of my character for that, sadly. Should be at the right place. Like, sadly, the closest thing you have to a Flash suit that you can get in this Universal line for free is this style here. You can purchase it from our friend Jay Garrick. Cost
good, doesn't it? But
marks of victory.
Can get into it. You have to earn the right. Good luck.
And there's also the style vendor that you can buy the style from. But if you want the actual gear, you have to buy it from Jay Garrick. If you just want the style, then you can go to the style vendor. At the style vendor, you're going to pay 10 marks of victory. Not a big deal, but just give me half a second. There we go. So for the Young Justice Kid Flash, the design did change slightly from season to season. It wasn't a big changes, but it was subtle ones. So I guess we're going to need red. That should be good for now. Oh, we can't. I was going to use black for the lenses, but I guess if we do that, it doesn't really work. So for the face piece, let's go for none. So sadly I wanted to put the lenses black, but it seems if we do that, we also put part of the face black. So we're not going to use black, I suppose. Oh no, oh yeah. So we'll stick to yellow then. So for that piece, that's a good option. The electrostatic kind of works for that. For the shoulders, he seems to have something kind of like the Batman Beyond shoulders. I guess we have to remove the back piece. For the boots, obviously I would be tempted to go for with the flash boots, but something like the Stalwart Defender boots kind of seems to fit better. Either the Stalwart Defender boots, or even better, probably the Nuclear boots from our friend Firestorm. Yeah, let's go for the Nuclear boots in this case. For the pants, pretty much any slimline should be able to do the trick. Let's go for those. For the gloves, kind of hard to tell. Let's go for those gloves. Looks close enough. And of course, for the chest piece, any slimline chest piece could do the trick. I usually by default use the reverse slimline, but you can use whatever slimline you have available. Not a big issue. And of course, you need the flash emblem. You can use a regular version, you can use the enhanced version. Again, you decide. I guess we're going to need some white. Obviously, the Kid Flash emblem is not quite the same as the Flash emblem. For the belt, by default, I would go with the Speed Force Spectrum. The reason for that is that I'll show you in just a second. So this is about as close to the Young Justice Kid Flash as we can get. The aura, nah, I don't think the aura really works. So let's go without the aura. So this is about as close to the Young Justice Kid Flash as we can get. Obviously, if you want to use the smaller body frame, you could do that. For the belt, if we go without belt, like the character really doesn't have a belt, but the way the chest piece and the pants are separated doesn't really work in with that style, I suppose. I guess we could try. Let's try something. I guess we could go with the tertiary slimline to try to give it a little bit the shape that it has in the TV show. Like it doesn't end up straight at the waist. There's this little indentation. So this is about as close as I can get to what the look actually looks like. Sorry, I probably missed a billion comments. Well, the flash boots, you can get them from the broker. The Catwoman face piece. You get the Catwoman face piece from playing, where is it? From the Gotham University warehouse. You're gonna have to play it a lot though, because it is pretty difficult to get. Your better option, if you really want the Catwoman face piece, is to get it from the broker. You're going to hear me say that a lot, but sadly for a lot of things, your better option is the broker. When you're looking for rare items, if you have a lot of free time, a lot of replay badges, and don't mind replaying the same missions over and over and over and over, then do so. If you don't have that much free time, then your better option usually is the broker. Right now, the Catwoman goggles are not that expensive, like a 500,000. I know that for free to play and premium, that is a lot. But again, from the perspective of a legendary player, it's not that much. So if you want the Catwoman goggles, this here is pretty much the easiest option or the fastest option. But if you want to farm for it, then you're gonna have to play the Gotham University Warehouse over and over until you're lucky enough to actually get the goggles. And I've been playing this universe online for 6 years. I played that mission a few hundred times, if not 1,000 times, and I got the goggles only once in that time frame. So the Catwoman goggles, you have to be really, really lucky to get them, or maybe I was really, really not lucky. It doesn't really matter. So let's take a quick look at the split personality, and then we'll take a look. Basically, I'll try to go through your comments to try to get some of the pieces that people, some of the questions that some of you may have asked. So the split personality headpiece, it's the pimp hat that you see a lot of people using. So that's for the headpiece, and the face piece. Sadly, it's only like half a mask. Now let's try to give it different colors. It's only one color anyway. So the headpiece, you can see it's that sort of pimp hat that you can have. I'm actually I should probably make a shadow video with that hat. And for the face piece, you can see what it looks like. For the flash style that someone was asking, sadly there's no miracle. If you want to have the flash cowl, you have to get it from the marketplace. There's the other option to that would be the black flash cowl, but for the black flash cowl, you have to get it either from you have to get it either from the broker or from some time capsules. Let's see on the broker. It's been a while since I looked at that. So if you want to have the black flash cowl for free, this is pretty much your only option. Yeah, you're gonna have to farm. You have to be able to use a broker, and you're gonna have to farm and farm and farm in order to be able to get the black flash cowl, and it's 18 millions on the broker right now. You could also get the collections. The collections will probably be as expensive. I made a video about the black flash cowl if you really need to. So your options are really that the black flash cowl or the actual speedster cowl. Sadly, there's a bit of clipping with the speedster cowl. Not sure why they didn't give us a helmet, like the option to have either a cowl or a helmet, like they did with the Batman cowl. But what can you do? So sadly, for a free cowl, it's the black flash cowl. If you want to have the actual flash cowl, you have to buy it. It's that simple. Oh, sorry, Rose. I just saw you have to go. Maybe next time. Uh, Technically, they never had Wally West as the Flash in DCUO. DCUO originally they were supposed to have Wally West, but then DC asked them to change it, so they changed it to Barry Allen. But somehow he still remained. He still had the personality of Wally West. So let's see, what other question did I miss? So for the free flash suit, sadly, there's no miracle. Your better option is either the oh there's all I guess you could go with the It's not really a flash call, but it's a speedster call if it works well enough. Oh, where did I put it? Like for a speedster, the enhanced quick suit would work. It's not a flash call, but it's one of the options you have. And there's also the speed metal one that you could get. Again, it's not really a flash call, but if you don't want to purchase the flash call from the marketplace, that's one of the options you have. Hello, Gunna. Other than that, then you have to go with just a slimline call. Like it won't look like the flash. Could have sworn there was a slimline call. Oh, I'm so sad. And for the boots, obviously, there's only one real set of flash boots, and it's the flash boots. But again, you're gonna have to farm and farm and farm in order to be able to get it. And to this day, we don't really have a flash, some flash gloves. Bye bye, Rose. Sorry about that. Yeah, the Jagaric head is a good option, but again, it depends on which version of the Flash you want to create. But yeah, the original Speedster, I've used that. If you guys have been watching my video for some time, I did use the original Speedster headpiece for quite a bit. And for the belt, obviously, the better option we have right now is the Speed Force Spectrum. And now we have two options. So even if you're playing an evil villain, you can still get the Speed Force Spectrum if you buy it from the marketplace. But if you play a hero, you can get it just from the in-game vendors. So there are options if you want to have a free Flash character, but it's not the same as if you purchase a Flash call, obviously, and it's not the same as if you get the Flash emblem. Technically, you can get the Flash emblem on the broker. Let's see how much the emblem is today. But obviously, if you cannot use the broker, then anything on the broker is not really helping you. Of course, there's also the Jagaric emblem. 12 million for the Flash emblem. That's a bit pricey, but you have the Flash emblem cash. That's crazy talk. Like you have people putting the Flash emblem for 12 million, but you have the Flash emblem cash for 2 million. Makes no sense, but that's how the broker works sometimes. The speed metal head, you have to buy it from the broker. You can get it also from the Paradox time capsules, but your better option are just to buy it from the broker. What material? Well, I kind of like using the cosmic material, but that one is very, very difficult to get. Right now, last I checked, it was like 300 million or something, so it's not really a good option. And the Speed Force material, negative Speed Force material, is not as difficult, but it's still fairly difficult. Nah, no more cosmic. Let's see how much the negative Speed Force is. Oh, there's no negative Speed Force either. I'm so sad. Oh well, welcome back, Rose. So material for a Flash character, honestly, at this point I would go with no material. Unless you have the speed negative speed force and you really want to have a red looking character. Uh, there's the void material. I guess the void material would be an option. Sadly, I won't be able to show it to you because I don't have it just yet. But I guess the void material would be an option. But it's again, it's one of those material that's really difficult to get. You have to either be really lucky with the time capsules, or you have to buy it on the broker for a few $1 billion. And it's not even on the broker. So you have no choice. You would have no choice in that case but to open time capsules. Yeah, people are greedy. Sadly, it's like the sad thing is that if you want to purchase items on the broker, you have to be able to make money. So in order to be able to buy the things you want from the broker, you have to make money yourself. So you have to sell items at a high price yourself. Originally, when I started playing DC Universe Online, I wasn't using the broker at all. And then when I started using the broker, sometimes I would sell items for very cheap because I didn't really care at that time until I wanted to purchase more expensive items. So once you get caught in the wheel, in order to buy the items you want, you have to sell items at a high price yourself. So that's when I started playing the broker. When I wanted to purchase materials that were like 100 million on the broker, well, I had no choice. I had to make money until I had the 100 millions to be able to buy the material I wanted. So sadly, in order to be able to buy stuff from the broker, you have to make money yourself. I guess one of the materials you could use, like if you're making a Jay Garrick character, like the headpiece, if you want to put the headpiece gold or silver, that kind of works with the character. Like if you have a nice looking gold helmet, it works really well with the character. And the same with silver. So those are two materials that are easy to get. Sadly, you have to pay $20 for them. But these are options you can use with certain characters. I guess the better option. Let's switch character. I guess the better option would be the void material and the phoenix material. But then we're talking about two materials that are expensive and very hard to get. Like if we go with my flash character. Like this is the cosmic material with the phoenix material. If you add the void material instead of the cosmic material and tinted the void material red, it works. It will work like a charm with the character. But of course, if you don't have the negative speed for if you don't have the phoenix material, what you could use is the gold material. Ah, thank you, Upper Axe. Like another option would be to use the gold material, but it obviously doesn't work as well as the Phoenix material does. But it's easier to get than the Phoenix one. So cosmic and gold could be a good option, or void and gold could also be a good option. As I mentioned, the void is the very same as the cosmic material. The stars are the only distinction from what I recall. But of course, if you want to create an evil zoom, I guess you could go for this. It's a little too shiny for my taste, but that would kind of work. Of course, we have to change the gloves. And the belt. And the boots. So you could recreate a pretty good reverse flash also using that. Or you could just use the gold material. And of course I have to change the emblem. And of course the red is too shiny, but you get the idea. So you can make a pretty cool evil reverse flash using the gold material, which technically I did with my my other character. And of course you can create a pretty good version of Jay Garrick now. So that's a classic Barry Allen, of course. Come on, come on. Using the shock jock, you can create a pretty good Jay Garrick now. And for the helmet, I went with the silver material. But you decide. And of course, I had to make a more flashy version of Jay Garrick. Probably should have gone with gold for the helmet. Like I tried before with the cosmic material, the phoenix material, but it's a little too bright, I think. A season 4 flash suit? Uh, I guess I could, but I'm gonna have to switch character again. Hello, Spider Boy. We're just going through styles and looking at materials. But season 4, the Flash isn't that different. Let's take a quick look. Come on, come on. Like, other than maybe trying to give it a darker red suit, not sure really what's different about the Flash in season 4. Now let's give it a try. Because we pretty much go back to pretty much creating the classic Flash. I would have to look through my belts maybe to try and find something. Let's remove the shoulders. For the boots, I think we'll go with the Stalwart Defender boots. It's about as close as what he's using right now. And that's a quick version of the Flash on the fly. I guess another option would be, I suppose, let's use the scuba style. This is about as close to season 4. Even then, the yellow lines are a little too thick, and the belt is not quite right. Well, the New Titans movies, well, the New Titans series and the Young Justice TV, the Arkham Knight. I could try to make a video for the Arkham Knight, but it's a little challenging, let's say. But yeah, I could give it a try. For Young Justice and Titans, these shows are still pretty far away, so it'll take a while before we even start seeing any trailers or stuff like that. So with the scuba style, you can recreate the sort of texture that they're giving super costumes these days. Also, they're usually giving them these little seams of colors. Supergirl had like she has the blue costume, but she had like those red seams on her costume. Oh, that's a pretty cool looking spirit here. We can try to make the Arkham Knight, but it's a bit tricky. Let's see what we can do. Obviously, we're going to need the Beyond headpiece. Like I guess you could use the Beyond style to try to recreate the texture I have. The only materials I have right now are I obviously have the silver, gold, and bronze. I have the stealth. Let's go through this here. Like I have the stealth material, I have the gold material, I have the silver material, and I have none. I have the time worn material. I don't really like that one very much. It's too bright. And I have the negative Speed Force one. Well, yeah, it's inspired by Justice League. Let's look for Flash Rebirth or just Flash. Flash Emblem, Museum. It's kind of hard to see, but yeah, it is the Justice League version because those posters were inspired by the Justice League movie. Deathstroke from Arkham Knight, I would have to give it a try. I would have to look it up. I'm not sure how different the Arkham Knight version is from the regular version, but yeah, I could probably try and make that. Uh, where's the Beyond? Oh, went too far, too far. I guess the thing with the Arkham Knight, I guess you can try to recreate it more or less. I'm going to do that from memory. I would have to look it up to see exactly how it looks. But using pretty much the Batman Beyond style, that's pretty much all how you can recreate the Arkham Knight, sort of. Let's go for a darker blue. I seem to recall it was like black and blue as opposed to just being black. So, but I would have to look it up properly. But on the fly, that's pretty much how I would make the Arkham Knight. Like very quickly, that's pretty much how I would make the Arkham Knight. I guess we could decide if we want to give him some cool looking bats flying around him. We could give him the speed metal back piece. Well, if he looks the same as he does in DCUO, I already made a Deathstroke video. Actually, I made a couple, but you should take a look through my videos for Deathstroke. You should see a couple of Deathstroke video in there. You're the one who was trying to invite me? It happens. Usually when I'm doing something, like as you invited me, I pressed the square button to be able to do some stuff. No, I can't. Let's see how much the flash boots are. Usually they're about 2 millions, 1.2. So basically, you're asking me to give you 25% of my cash. I'm not going to do that. I'm sorry, I'd like to help you out, but there are times where I have to say no, and this is one of those. The reverse flash, I'm pretty sure it's black and red. The flash emblem is white and yellow. And the reverse flash costume, everything that's yellow becomes red, everything that's red becomes yellow, and obviously white becomes black. So the reverse flash emblem is black and red. Because you have to remember that the evil reverse flash is as a yellow suit. So in order to be able to see the lightning, they switched it so that it would be red. Of course, I don't have any red. So how basically the reverse flash costume is yellow, so the black and red does contrast really well with the yellow. You're doing a live stream, Rose? Oh, that's so sweet. The Batman suit from the Arkham games. Yeah, that would require a few things. Obviously, we need Dark Knight helmet. Oh, let's go for the cowl for now. Let's go for the new Genesis pants. The Arkham style is pretty much the classic style, but with a few distinctions. Let's go for any slimline should do. Let's go for the rebirth emblem. That's a start. I don't remember if he has any shoulder pieces. I don't think so. I'll look it up if I have to. Basically, the Batman style is pretty much the classic Batman, but with like some sort of a bulky techno gloves or something. And when we have a few of those for we have the Bat Gauntlet that could do the trick, I suppose. Or the Dark Defender could do the trick. The Dark Spectre could do the trick as well, but let's go with the Dark Defender in this case. The belt. Let's go for the simple utility. And the boots, I forget what he's using. I guess again he's using some kind of armored boots, I think. Well, let's go for those. And of course the back we're going to use, in this case we're going to use the Future Crusader back piece. Oh, wrong place. Let's go for the BVS Batman emblem. On the fly, this is about as close as I can get to the Batman Arkham right now. I'm in a live stream? Oh, that's so sweet. Are you telling me you're Absolute Fury? Is that you? I guess, oh yeah, for the Arkham Knight, we could go with the Future Crusader chest piece. I guess that would be a bit closer. Seeing how he is quite a bit bulky. And the same with the gloves, I suppose. Well, there's when I look at the analytics, it tells me that there's about 95% of guys who are watching my videos and only like 5% of women. So I'm not surprised if in the game it's the same. So odds are, yeah, there's probably mostly guys playing this universe online. But once in a while, we see an actual game, an actual girl or an actual woman playing. I guess depends on the age, of course. Let's see. I suppose for the Arkham game, that is about as close as we could get. I would have to look through my styles to see if maybe there's something else more appropriate, but on the fly. Well, they did remove the trunk at some point. They always try to remove the trunk. That's so mean. I guess if we do remove the trunk, well, we could go with we could go for the with the Future Crusader still. Does he have pouches though? Like sadly, we have a whole bunch of pouches here, which is not surprising. Let's go with something else. No, no, who tried to invite me as I was pressing buttons. I'm trying to reply to our friend Dennis Colt. You're above me. I don't see you. DC is dead? Oh, that's so mean. If that's you, Rose, wave. That's a cool looking fella. So let's see if we can play a mission or two before we have a cool Captain Marvel here. Oh, he's gone. So sad. Yeah, to make a proper video, I would have to look up what the style actually looks like. From memory, I vaguely remember it. We'll do that some other time. So let's see, what could we go play today? So, just in case for those of you who don't know, we still have the Valentine seasonal for a few days still. You're outside the watchtower? Oh, were you able to fly through the floor or something? Well, the Owlman boots. Oh, let's give it a last try. Someone was asking whether they should use the Owlman boots for our friend Batman, and it actually was a pretty good suggestion. Like the owl boots kind of look like the boots that the classic Batman was using for a long time. Let's remove the shoulders. Hopeful Mega Man. Rose, is that you? Give us a wave. Or a bow, you decide. Oh, no wave, I'm so sad. Oh, our friend Danny Colt is back. Oh, I forgot to remove the gold. Oh, and let's change a cape also. I guess this could kind of work for the Arkham Knight Batman. Although a better option would probably be with the Future Crusader chest, of course. Not quite it, but it's close enough. Sadly, for the Allman boots, you have to be tier 8. You have to literally be at endgame, like combat rating 207, before you can actually get those boots. But they do make some pretty nice looking Batman boots. So if you have a Batman character, sadly you're gonna have to grind and grind and grind. That's okay. We have a pretty cool looking the Spirit. Um, Maybe next time for Legends PvP. Let's see what we can play today. Already done that. I guess we could farm for catalysts. Let's see if we can do some 8-player missions. I forget where's the last time we get catalysts here. I guess we could try that. Let's try that. Let's try those for now. And let's see if we can try some 4-player missions. I missed a few questions. Let me go back a bit. A Justice League station in real life? Probably, but the problem is that we would pretty much starve, or like you may have noticed, there's no food on the watchtower. There's no bathroom either. There's no bedroom either. So we would have to sleep on the floor, and I'm not sure what we would eat. But yeah, I suppose it would be possible. So everyone is 220 something. It would be easy to decide to do that with only DPSs. But I still try to play as a controller anyway.
Anyway, we can discuss that later. The readings are coming from the Phantom Zone projector. Head over there and I will check back in. The fortress's defenses are malfunctioning. That's not good. Look into it. I don't think turning it off and back on again will fix it.
Something with Killer Frost? Well, Killer Frost seems to be a fairly popular character on the Flash TV show right now. So I wouldn't be surprised if at some point they decide to do something related to Killer Frost. I'm surprised they didn't add her to the Valentine seasonal. But Killer Frost is getting a lot of face time in the Flash TV show right now. She even was there even was an episode or two pretty much dedicated to her.
use an artificial intelligence built into my father Jor-El's Kryptonian war suit for defense here at the Fortress of Solitude. It's clearly malfunctioning. Watch yourselves. The malfunctioning Jor-El AI is using those sunstones to generate a shield. Toss the sunstones into the chasm below.
Could have sworn I heard something.
Okay, use the fortress defense terminal to get rid of the shield protecting the AI.
We'll always have those players who try to throw the crystals and somehow have the worst possible aim in the multiverse. Two hours and three skill points? Yeah, that's not surprising.
Serious distortion over our comm channel.
You sold the yellow ripple aura? For how much did you sell it? Selena versus Talia? I would have to say Talia. Technically, Selena Kyle was pretty much self-taught. She grew up on the street and all that. As opposed to Talia al Ghul was trained by Ra's al Ghul himself and by the Leagues of Assassin. 5 million? That's better than I thought. I didn't think it would be worth that much. Talia.
Attention! This is your general speaking. You must buy us enough time to escape from the Phantom Zone.
I know that Catwoman is popular, but she should be no match for Talia al Ghul. Unless they decide to change the character drastically and give her like a new origin or something.
will not escape the Phantom Zone, humans, as General Zod commands. I'm being overwhelmed by these Earthlings, General Zod. Please send assistance.
The money symbol, it's like it's something called super chat, I think. If some of you guys wanted to like support the channel, you could decide to give money using the super chat. Not sure exactly how it works because I have to admit, never really used it myself. But basically, if some of you guys wanted to give $2, $5, $50,000, I guess you could, thanks to the super chat. I suspect there might be a maximum you can give, like, I don't know, $100 maybe or something. But again, the truth, I don't really know because I've never really tried it. Never really experienced with it. Did any experimentation with it either. But I vaguely know about it because I've seen other YouTube channels use it. Little Bohemia? I'm sure. What do you need to do in Little Bohemia?
Preposterous! You will not survive much longer.
YouTube doesn't really pay very much. It pays. It depends on the amount of views you get, and it depends on the amount of click you get. So, not really. Yes, you do make a few bucks, but it's not that much. And also YouTube, sadly, has the tendency to pretty much demonetize pretty much any videos these days. So usually what happens is that you put up a video, you put it up for monetization, and then you see a little icon saying that your video cannot be monetized for reasons. YouTube pretty much added those bots who pretty much go through videos. And if they see anything they don't like, they flag the video as not being able to be monetized. So then you have to appeal so that someone manually take a look at the video. But usually by the time that happens, all the money the video could have made has already been made. And so once they rectify the situation and actually monetize the video again, it's too late. Like 99% of the monetization is already behind you, and you didn't get a cent for it because your video wasn't approved for monetization. They're supposed to change that, but so far pretty much like 9 times out of 10 I'll put a video and I'll have to appeal the process the way things work right now. They're trying to appease their advertisers. Basically, there was a lot of, let's say, bad things that happened that made a lot of advertisers decided not to advertise on YouTube anymore. So they decided to put those bots to try to make sure that doesn't happen again. Sadly, the bots right now pretty much they flag everything. So doesn't really matter what your video is, odds are you're gonna get flagged.
Yet it is us who are leaving.
There's a few things that you can do, I guess, to avoid being flagged.
Never cross paths again.
When we didn't hear back from you for a few weeks,
Like sometimes the way you name your video, if you name your video with something a little too aggressive, or with evil words, then they'll flag your video right away.
Army right away. Oh, my friend Clark Kent has been saving newspapers for you, by the way, in case you need to catch up on the latest events.
And there are words sometimes also that you can try to avoid using. Like a good example of that is that you guys may have seen I made a video. I'll go show you. DTube? No idea what that is. There's a few other places where we could have, I could make a YouTube channel, I suppose. Or a channel, I should say. There's a Daily Motion. Again, whenever I tried on places like Daily Motion, I had a limit to how long my videos could be. Like the reason I'm making videos on YouTube right now is that I pretty much can make videos almost as long as I wish. So when I try to make videos on other platform, there's all those restrictions that I have that I don't have on YouTube. Oh, I guess we're ready for that. So the name of the cat here, if I was to mention the name of the cat, pretty guaranteed that my video would get flagged right away. So there's a few keywords sometimes that the AI is looking for, but sadly the AI seems to be pretty much flagging anything anyway. And there's sometimes where I think, oh, it's not that bad. They didn't flag that many videos this time. And then the next day I look and oops, 90% of my videos are flagged. So for the no copyright music thing, I'm not sure. There's even some music that we're supposed to be able to use. Like they have this bunch. They have this bank of music that you're supposed to be able to use for free. But what I've quickly discovered is that when I would try to use that music, 3 times out of 4, it wouldn't work. The video would still get flagged. So sadly, through trial and error, I had to try out some of those music in order to find some music that truly was for free. Which is why you may have noticed at some point I was adding music to some of my videos, and so I would pretty much put one of 3 songs. There was 3 songs that I found that I could use in my videos without the videos being flagged. But a lot of other songs that were supposed to be free. Sadly, they were not. We're in the marketplace. Sure, I'll show it to you after this mission.
This is Amanda Waller. Task Force X is taking control of this situation. I'm sending in the Suicide Squad to assist you. I assure you that those mercenaries will comply.
Thank the gods you made it. My magic lasso should awaken the Colossal General and his army of Colossi. They are oath-bound to defend the Gate of Tartarus. But Brainiac...
Well, if you do that, Eric, I'll be your first... I'll create your first channel.
Cyclops to destroy it.
energy field has been destroyed. Now, we march to war.
The Colossal General awakens. General, fulfill your obligation and amend this breach of Tartarus.
I'm not sure if viewers would pay a few cents to take a look. People are used to having things for free online. So even if it was just a few cents, I don't think many people will want to go through the hassle of...
You must protect the Colossi during the initial assault. Make sure they are resupplied once they throw their javelins. But Themyscira!
Technically we're supposed to use the javelins, but I guess if we're high level enough, it doesn't really matter.
Be gone, intruder.
Some tank shoulders, of course.
Circe and I will fly ahead and engage their main force. You must guide the colossal archers to the battle.
I would be honored to fight beside you.
That's one of the things I don't miss in DC Universe Online. When eons ago you could get tank gear or healer gear or controller gear, no matter what role you had. And way too often you would get gear for a role you were not using. And sadly sometimes when we would get, let's say, controller gear, there would be an evil tank or an evil healer who would roll need on the controller gear.
Hold the line here. Circe and I will engage the flying swarmers. Destroy any ground forces that try to advance. Do not let any through, whatever the cost.
Oh yeah, and I don't know if did you guys watch the episode yesterday of The Flash? It actually was a pretty good episode so far. For once, Ralph didn't act like a complete idiot, and they didn't have the bumbling music, which was surprising. But I was really happy about that. But I'm still puzzled a bit why they decided to focus on Ralph Dimney so much this year. That was bad. Sadly, that's what happens when people ignore the mechanics. You think they're going to kill Ralph? They wouldn't do that to Ralphie. Poor Ralphie. Yeah, this season it hasn't been a good season for pretty much all of them shows. The best part this season was the crossover. And even then, they were trying a little too hard over their punching Nazi
Brainiac's stolen power will be mine.
body kick.
I will be the master of the flame of change.
You will go no further, Circe. Quick, quickly. We must break through the rest of Brainiac's defenses. There's still time to stop him from escaping Themyscira with the Flame of Change. Take down all who stand in our way.
Well, that's the crazy part is that not sure why this season they decided to, hey, let's turn the Flash into a supporting character in his own series. It's crazy. Not sure why they're doing that. Usually it's not a good sign. It's usually a sign that they don't know what to do with the character anymore.
You go no further, princess. The Flame of Change is mine!
Like yesterday, we saw the Flash use his powers once. It's when he tried to train the Fiddler.
Like I said, you go no further, sorceress. We must move forward.
At last I have obtained limitless power. The very essence of magic flows through my
Now, Legends has its good
The
episode,
ultimate
its
adapter will
less
merge
good
with the
episode.
flame of change. Nothing can stand against me.
The episode with the pirate Monday was okay.
Damage sustained. Critical damage. Performance impaired. Status critical. Minor damage. Critical damage. No. The union of magic and logic was to be the catalyst of the final stage.
Ah, no peace for us. So sad. Uh, let's see what's in the box. Oh well. Let's give a little bow to everyone. Go ahead, Rose. I'm used to weird Rose, so go ahead. That's worthless. So we'll wait for Rose's question, but that's probably going to be it for today, guys. As you can see, sadly, there's some items that you just cannot sell on the broker. It's sad, but it happens. Those mods, whenever I get those mods, so lately I've been playing with the materials a bit. I should have a couple of upcoming videos. I'm wondering if I should make a Judge Dredd video or a Cyborg Superman video. I'll have to give it some thoughts. Oh yeah, the marketplace. So basically you have to go to the marketplace. Hopefully the market will be working today. For the past few days, whenever I would go there, it wasn't really working. I could redeem stuff from the redeem claim, but that's pretty much all I could do. You have to go. Oh, I went a little too far. You have to go to base items, and then within the base items, you have to scroll all the way down, and then you will start seeing the various layers you can purchase. Like you see the sewer layer, the penthouse. This one here is the penthouse. So if that's what you're looking for, this is it. I also made a video about all those layers. So if you want to look what the sewer layer looks like, what the tech layer looks like, what the eastern layer looks like, I made a video with all of those. So, and of course, if you want to have a second layer, you have to purchase a deed. But if you just want to have a new style for your layer, then no deed is required. You just need to purchase the actual layer you want, and you're going to be able to use it. And you're going to be able to use it for every single character on your account. So once you purchase it, it's unlocked for all the characters on your account. So if you're like me and you have a lot of characters, then it's going to be unlocked for all of them. Ah, Rose, you shouldn't say stuff like that. To answer your question, Rose, it's very, very small. It's like a baby carrot. My number is number 3 or 7. It depends on what day. Merci, Perax. So that's going to be it for now, guys. So tomorrow, what can we do tomorrow? I'll try to think of something to do tomorrow. I have a whole bunch of videos that I could probably make with the various styles. There's a few videos that I was trying to make also, and sadly, the evil movie maker gave me a few some problems. Not sure why. Sometimes I had some files that were corrupted. I'm not sure if it was corrupted from the PlayStation file itself. Yeah, the question was blocked. YouTube does that by default. When you say naughty things, YouTube doesn't let you do that. But she did get her answer. Yeah, I should. I'll make more Batman Telltale game gameplay when I get the chance. There's also the problem is that sometimes some files. I'm not sure why. So I had files that were corrupted from YouTube. Like you may remember, I did the PlayStation Plus video about the starter pack you can get on PlayStation Plus, and somehow I had recorded some footage on how to get the box and how to what happens when you open the box and all that. And sadly, it didn't work. And also, some of you guys have been asking questions about some questions about me, and I tried to make a video about that. And sadly, like when I was about 90% done with the video, the evil movie maker crashed, and I'm gonna have to redo the whole thing. So sadly, it happens. I don't have that much time sometimes to make videos, and sometimes trying to make those videos, poop will happen. It's sad, but what can you do? So Rose, you want to have my number? I'll see what I can do about the... I'm not sure how to share it without giving it to everyone, so I'll try to think of if you can try to contact me straight on YouTube or something like that. Like send me a personal message on YouTube maybe, or a personal message in DCUO. I'll see what I can do about that. So that's going to be it for now, guys. So as always, thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.